Good morning. It's Monday morning. Hope that you are well this morning and looking forward to a good week. Today we're going to read some more of Matthew 6, which says, "Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value than they? And which of you, by being anxious, can add a single hour to his span of life? Why are you anxious about clothing? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. Yet I tell you, even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. What if God so clothes the grass of the field, which today is alive and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, will he not much more clothe you, you of little faith? Therefore do not be anxious, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? For the Gentiles seek after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them all." That's a good place to stop. I don't know who it was. I think it might have been Paul Tillich, but it could have been someone else. But this period of time in which we live, the late 20th century and early 21st century, has been called the age of anxiety. Other ages had, there was the age of faith and the age of reason. Now we're in the age of anxiety. And what does that mean? Anxiety comes when you've got too many choices and you don't know what to do. Yesterday we went to a Mexican restaurant. Now the menu is 7 or 8 pages full of items, There's 18 different kinds of enchiladas. And basically, when you order Mexican food, and I love Mexican food, but you're going to get some rice and some beans and some salady stuff. And underneath that, under the cheese sauce, is the enchilada or the burrito or whatever. And some of them don't have cheese sauce, and some of them have chicken instead of beef, and some of them have more beans and less beans. But it's always the same ingredients kind of piled on the plate. So who cares what you order, really? But, we spend all this time reading the menu and trying to decide. That's anxiety, that sense of, I don't know what to do. Take a little kid to a toy store and say, you got $10, what do you want? He'll be frozen. Unless he's got some really particular toy in mind that he loves, he's just going to be sitting there going, I want this. No, I want this. Because, there's too many choices. So that's one kind of anxiety that comes. Now, if you have that kind of anxiety, but you don't see the choices in front of you concretely, I can have this or this or this, you just have this sort of generalized anxiety that life presents you with all these options and choices and decisions, and you don't know what to do. One thing that's come from that is that people love to be told what to do, and so authoritarian leaders and people who tell you this is how it's got to be are very popular because they help with that anxiety. And of course, so many people are on different kinds of medications to help with anxieties. And there's some real issues with some people have real problems and medical needs. And I'm not trying to make light of any of that, but just to say that this is an anxious age in which we live. No one knows what quite to do. And the problems that we have are so big. What are we going to do with them? Jesus says, look, God knows you need all that stuff. God clothes the birds and feeds the birds, and the flowers are beautiful. God knows all this stuff. God's got this, so don't be anxious. And I think the best line in there is when he says, which of you, by being anxious, can add a single hour to his lifespan? What is worry going to get you? Anything. Is it going to get you a longer life? No. It's just going to mess up the life that you've got. And you end up kind of wasting time worrying. So don't worry so much. That's easy to say and very hard for any of us to do. But think about that. God takes care of the world. He takes care of the birds and the flowers. He'll take care of us. It might not be exactly the way that we think that we like to live, but God will take care of us. So trust that care. Tomorrow we'll talk some more about some of this. See you then.